Please welcome Warren Knight to the stage.
Well, that was a fantastic introduction. Thank you very much, Paul. Really appreciate it. Now, I know you guys have been here for 2 days, so I really had a good think about what it is like to be on an event for 2 days and how much information, and sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming and you can overload yourself. Now, that's not going to be different for my presentation, but what I have done for you, I've broken it down step by step by step. And not only am I giving it to you in steps, I'm going to be giving you the tools of how to do it and explain to you exactly how to use these tools. Now, it is very important that you've got your pen and paper there. You're going to make some notes. Just in case you do miss anything, there's a little link you can go to here, gettalk.at/F12. Inside of that, we'll give you this presentation and every single tool that I speak about today. So you can just click on the link inside of it and it will take you automatically over to this tool. Pretty much everything that I speak about today will cost you $0, which is always really good, right? It will cost you $0. Thank you very much. Okay. It's 1983. It's the favorite day of the month for me. It's that day when I'm waiting downstairs and I hear, it's my dad waking up. He goes to the top of the stairs. He looks down. I'm waiting. He pulls out of his pocket a crisp £1 note. He hands me my £1 note pocket money. Big smile comes on my face. I go over to my garage. I open up my garage door, and inside of my garage is my red Rally Grifter. Who remembers Rally Grifters? Yeah. Come on. I get on my Rally Grifter, and I cycle as fast as I can all the way down to a little village. Now, when I was younger, I lived in a little village very close to a place called Whipsnade Zoo. Do you know Whipsnade Zoo? Yeah. So our little village was called Studham. We had 2 shops in our village. The shop on the right was a post office. The shop on the left was the best shop in the world. It was called Maisie's, and it was a sweet shop. So I pull up outside. I put my bike up against the glass. I go over to the door. I'd open the door. I'd go ding-ling-ling. And Maisie would go, "Good morning, Warren." I'd go, "Morning, Maisie," because my voice hasn't broken yet. She said to me, "Would you like the usual, Warren?" I say, "Yes, please, Maisie." And she leans over and she gets a little jar out. She gets a little plastic bag and she puts in a quarter of cola cubes into a bag for me. And she turns the bag round like that, hands me the cola cubes. I hand her my £1 note and she gives me some change back. I say, "Thank you very much, Maisie." And I get back on my bike and I cycle as fast as I can all the way home, hoping that maybe 1 or 2 of my friends might be outside so I can share some of my sweets with my friends. They're for you. Oh, thank you. I now live in Kent. I happened to get married last year, which I found my wife on Tinder. We went through 3 rounds of IVF to get our baby little girl. Thank you very much. So I decided to move out of London, move to Kent, and paint a picture that would enable us to have a lovely family. Now, that all worked out okay. But as we were pregnant during the summer, my wife had a bit of a taste for cherries. Now, fortunately, we had a cherry farm just around the corner from us. So I was able to drive to the cherry farm, go to the cherry farm, and pick a kilo of cherries, sunburst cherries, mind you, not just any old cherries, sunburst cherries, put them into a bag, go over to the store, go, "Here you go," and weigh the cherries. So he'd give me the cherries back. I go, "Hold on a minute." And say, "Hold on a minute, Chris, I'm just going to pull out my smartphone." Getting the cherries, could take a picture of Chris with the cherries, holding the cherries, and take a picture and send that picture to 80,000 people just like that. Technology has changed everything that we do except what we do in human nature, and that is wanting to share. Now, as Paul said earlier, quite fortunate enough to have 1,000 shares already in 2 hours, one of my articles, which is very good. Mind you, that's not on my blog. That is where I guest blog on other people's websites, enabling me to have a further reach in regards to what I do from an online perspective. This presentation today is going to take you through that step-by-step process, enabling you to get a better understanding of how you can use digital marketing for your business, but get connected to your customers. So I thought, what is a digital strategy? Now, how can I put it very simply for you what a digital strategy is? Well, actually, we're going to look at it in 3 different ways. The first way being, you're going to do something new. So you've been here for the last 2 days. You've heard from some great speakers, and you're going to take something away from these 2 days, and hopefully, and I'm sure Paul will kick you up there if you don't put it into action. So it is about doing something new. We all run a business, right? Who runs a business? Let me know. Excellent, we're still awake. So we, in our business, have a purpose and a goal to achieve, and we have to strategically do that. So digital, for me, is about doing something new. It's about building on what you already do, but sharing that with more people. I'm an award-winning blogger. Why not share what it is that I do in the way that I write and put it on other people's websites, get paid for that, and then get 1,000 shares in 2 hours? Number 3, embrace. Take on board the new digital age because it's not going away. I've been doing this for 9 years now. And I have to say, I promise that over the last 18 months has been the most amount of changes I've seen in the last 9 years. And those changes are benefiting us in business, which is absolutely fantastic. So a little bit about me. Paul mentioned that I wrote a book. It was, I became finalist last year for the book. I've created an online training program called Think Digital First. I've got quite a few followers, impressions in regards to what I do. But one thing that Paul did bring up earlier, and where is he? Where is Paul right now? Paul, come here. I'm going to show you how to do the moonwalk in front of all of your lovely friends here. Come on.
You're already assuming I can't do it, but okay, that's cool.
There's doing it and doing it properly.
Yeah, fair shout.
Okay, so what we're going to do, put your right foot forward. Okay, then go on your heel. Sorry, on your your toe. Yeah, my brain's on. Then I want you to drag it back and lift up at the same time. And then as you do that, push down on your heel and lift this one forward. So there we go. Drag it back.
Hang on, I'm a visual learner. Let me watch.
So drag it back, up, up, up.
Okay.
Got it? So start right foot forward. Yeah. Then drag it back and then land on your bally heel, and then bring that one back and bring that up. There you go. Very good, very good. Give me a round of applause, everybody. Customers, customers, customers. We want more customers. But they start off as visitors, taking a look at what we're doing. They turn into prospects where they're potentially interested in who we are and what we do and how we can help them. And then they turn into customers. So I want to introduce to you 3 friends of mine today. First one is Rita. Rita's very creative. She thinks right brain. Then we have Sue. It's a boy named Sue. And then we've got Bob. We've got Rita, Sue, and Bob too. Now, Bob is my big orange button. You'll notice throughout the day that I'm going to be sharing with you how people take action by clicking on Bob. Now, if we look at what Rita and Sue do as far as actual prospects of yours, we want to make sure that in business, we're communicating to them with information that's relevant to them in that moment. Now, things have changed quite a lot because before the internet came around, a person who was interested in us as a business would connect with us around about 5 times. Now, because of social media and the internet, it now needs 8 touch points of building trust, getting to know us, getting to like us before they actually come and buy from us. So relevancy has become more and more important for us as brands to communicate what we do and how we help people. So I'm going to bring back a couple of my friends for you. I'm going to bring back Rita. Now, Rita's very much right brain. Now, I had a look at some of your websites before I came here today. I'm not going to say anything, but I picked on one. One particular company that I thought, well, actually, it's not always the easiest thing to think about or the easiest thing to think about when customers are wanting what it is that you do. Now, Rita's quite right brain. And what Rita will do, before she's actually interested. Who owns the alarm company? Who's got the alarm business? You've got the alarm business. Before Rita kind of decides to go, please come and fit an alarm to my house or my office, wherever it might be, she will ask a question. She might be around her friends, and her friends go, oh, we just had an intruder alarm fitted. She goes, well, I'm used to, what's an intruder alarm? People are not used to call it burglar alarms. So she will ask the question, and she'll go over to Google or type it into Twitter or into Facebook, and she will ask this question. If your company is answering this question in the form of content, whether it's a download, whether it's a blog, Rita comes to your website because Google sees your content as relevant to what Rita's looking for and puts the two of you together. So if your company is writing in the way that your customers are thinking, then you're swimming upstream to catch those customers before they're actually ready to buy. Now, Rita being creative, well, now she understands what an intruder alarm is. Now she's asking, well, will it look ugly in my home? Can you hide whatever device is needed? Because she's very proud of her home. She's not decided that she wants it yet, but what she wants to know is, does your business hide all the little gimmicks and gadgets and cameras and everything that's needed for your business? If you answer that question, maybe through visuals, maybe inside of Instagram, you're showing examples of what you've achieved in other people's homes and offices. And you've written the words down underneath that then allows that person to find you inside of that social network. Maybe use the hashtag to do that. Then she's ready to potentially come and work with you. So remember, she's very right-brained. She thinks creatively. So she's got a beautiful home. She wants to see what that alarm looks like. When she's ready, she'll come along and buy. Then we have a boy named Sue. He thinks left brain. He's more analytical. All he wants to know is, what's involved? Do I really need it? Another friend of him told him about it. Do I really need an intruder alarm? So as far as Google's concerned, when you put in a search term like, do I really need an intruder alarm? That is a search term. If you've written a piece of content that's got that exact same search term on your website, Google will put you and that potential prospect together. So then this more kind of left-brain person, now he knows actually that he does really need it. He then wants to know what involved. How many men have to come round? How many hours do you have to spend in my house? Do I have to be there when you come and fit it? Answering these questions before they're ready to buy enables you to build that trust. When you build that trust, let me buy it from you because you as a business have helped me answer that question. Does everybody understand the relevancy behind these two different types of potential prospects? Sorry?
Yes.
Very good. Oh, these guys are great. Okay. Does anybody know what the answer to this question is? Before you start doing your digital marketing, what do you need to do? Yeah, we've done the know your customer bit. We know our customer. What do we have to do in our business? There's a prize in it. No, we've done that already.
Get the website right.
We touched on it right at the very beginning. We need a good plan. Okay, all right. We'll give that to you. We'll plan. There you go. There you go. There it came. So here's a copy of my book. We need a strategy. So I'm going to give you my 5-point strategy around how to help you get a better understanding of running a digital marketing campaign. Attracting interest. We've spoken about the different types of prospects and how we need to really kind of swim upstream to be able to connect to those potential customers. We have to generate a lead. I had fun looking around here, and there's lots of little keywords which I'm going to touch on throughout my presentation today. Driving traffic through to your website. If they're going to come to your website, want to make sure they're always capturing that lead. Getting that name and email address is very powerful for us as a business. Once we've got that name and email address, not only do we have to capture it, but we've got to keep nurturing them. I've got over 17,000 people that are on my database. I have a 2-year life cycle. Somebody downloads one of my documents, and 2 years later, they decide to come and buy one of my products. That's a very long life cycle. That doesn't always happen like that, but the majority of people see me 2 years ago, and then they're happy to come and buy. if I don't keep communicating to those people that are on my database on a regular basis and stay consistent with that message, that person would drop off and go and happily spend their money with somebody else. So we must nurture our databases. When we've nurtured that database, we then have to convert and delight them. We've got to keep them happy as customers. And then finally, customer retention. Now, I've got a little slide quite close to the end here that might or might not surprise you when it comes to customer retention of how many customers leave us because we do not nurture those leads. Attracting interest. I've got 10 ideas for you here. You might be doing this already in your business, or you might not be. Depending on what type of business that you have, we could be offering a potential discount at a certain time of year. Here is our spring offer, receive a 25% discount, or buy 2 cameras in one room, get a 3rd camera for free. Whatever that might be is a great way to get people through the door. We've got how-to guides. So can people buy their own kit to install themselves? So actually allowing people, before they're ready to buy, let them see what that looks like. How simple is it for people to be able to do that? But offer that as what's called a lead magnet. Don't just give it away for free. Ask them for their name and email address. When you have that name and email address of that specific person looking for that specific download, then you can nurture that database based on what their needs are. Is anybody here doing any of these at the moment to capture leads? What are you doing at the moment? What works for you?
Courses, how-to guides.
Okay.
Case studies.
Good. Case studies.
Discount works very well.
Yeah.
Checklist.
Yeah.
We don't use free trial.
Okay.
Because we found that if you have a free trial, people haven't got any skin in the game.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay. Yep.
I'll say that once more. Yeah, for us, free trial hasn't worked because with our product, you've got to spend some time getting to understand it.
Yeah.
And if they haven't got any money in the game, they don't have the commitment.
No.
So that bit doesn't work. But yeah, several of the others do.
That's good. So which one of those would you say has been the most successful for you from a conversion perspective?
A coupon discount combined with a you must do it by
Yep.
or first 10
a
copies.
time-related action. You've got 3 days, take action on this. If you don't, that's it. The coupon's gone. Okay, great. So, yes, sorry.
My recent one was the checklist. It was for London Marathon.
Yep.
And it was your kit checklist. The kit just is t-shirts, shorts and trainers, but it's 20 different items that you need in your bag.
Yeah.
And you lay it all out on your bed the night before you go because you're so panic-stricken about running 26.2. And the sell-on from that was a workshop that I could come to 3 weeks before the marathon to get the tips from me and a more up-to-date book to work from. And that worked really well.
Great, brilliant. So as you can hear from the room already, I've used all of these at different times for different reasons. Some work more successful than others. Some work better for other businesses than somebody else's business. So you've heard from 2 different people in the room already how successful it's been for them. So these are what's called lead magnets. You're attracting those prospects. They start off as a visitor. They see what it is that you're doing. They then download whatever it is that you're offering. They then become a prospect for you, enabling you to be able to become a customer. So this is something that I did at the beginning of the year. I actually had over 500 people get involved in this challenge. I designed a 28-day social media challenge. And so I just gave it away very simply, 2 people, and all I requested was their name and email address. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you in a little while exactly the reasons why I asked for a name and email address. But this particular tool that enabled me to design these landing pages, so this isn't something that sits on my website, because what I found is when I send people over to my website and offer them something on my website, what do you think happens? They do get distracted, exactly. So when you put something on your website, giving something away, a coupon or whatever it might be, there might be shiny things that are on your website. Oh, what's going on over there? Or what's happening there? Or let me go and have a look at the latest blog, or let me go and read the case studies. And then they have a pattern interrupt, and all of a sudden they're off, and you've lost them as a potential prospect. So I send people through to a specific landing page. Now, the tool that I use that enables me to build these landing pages is called Instapage. It's a great tool. It's very easy to use. It's got a drag and drop functionality built into it and enables you to design with your own branding and your own fonts and logos, images, videos, whatever you like, to be able to have unique landing pages. And what it also enables you to do is have those landing pages as a subdomain of your website. Does everybody understand that? Yeah, great. So it really looks like they're coming to your website, but you're not. You're actually coming to Instapage as a landing page, generating those leads. And so when I do this, I think it was about 504 email addresses I generated from organic traffic. I didn't use any paid traffic to drive this to it. Because it's one focus, one outcome, you generate the leads. So what I'm going to do for you now is I'm going to take you through a customer acquisition journey. The exact journey that I send somebody that's never known me before, so somebody that's not a visitor yet, to get them to become a visitor, then a prospect, and then a customer. I'm going to take you through various different, shall we say, techniques from a digital marketing perspective, and I'm going to give you the tools that you need to use to be able to achieve these outcomes. One of these tools is actually my secret weapon, which I'm going to share with you today, and it's a UK-based company. But first of all, we've got to be able to talk to our customers. How many people here actually run blogs on their website? So you've got a blog on your website? Okay, so it's probably about 5–10% of the room. So what I'm going to do for you now is I'm going to actually give you the template that I use for my blogs that I've won awards on. And I'm going to take you through the step-by-step process of actually what that looks like for your business. So I start off here, and again, in that link that I shared with you earlier, all of this you can get inside of that link that I shared. When I think about writing a blog, I think about it in 3 different ways. The first way, who is my target audience for this specific blog? We don't talk about writing blogs to everybody. We have different types of customers that we want to work with. We write one blog, one focus. Who are our target audience? The next thing is all about keywords. What words do we put onto this article that reflects our brand that we know people are looking for around our business? So we always make sure that we have no more than around about 3% of keywords on that page. So in other words, Google would like you to have a minimum of a 400-word article. Now Google's looking for up to 1,500 words on an article. That article that I told you about earlier that's got over 1,000 shares, that's a 12-minute read. That took me quite a long time to put together. But you can see the difference when you just give people a little snippet of something compared to actually a process that you take them through. So 3% of the words on that blog must be your keywords. And then the last part here is all about the title. Titles are really important. It's the first thing that somebody sees. If you're going to go and share it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever it might be, they read the title first of all, and then they click through and want to read the blog. So this is a template that I've got for you. The next part is actually writing the blog itself. So I've got a 4-step formula that I'm going to give to you today to be able to write your own blogs. The first part is the introduction. Always hit them right between the eyes with the introduction. Sometimes it can be stats, sometimes it could be information around a case study, whatever it might be that suits your industry, think about hitting them right between the eyes that makes them want to read the rest of the article. Then we get into the actual body of the article. I recommend no more than 3 to 4 lines per paragraph. Do you know why? Does anybody know why you shouldn't write longer than 3 to 4 lines per paragraph? You get switched off, that's one reason, sorry.
We read in chunks.
Yep, you do read in chunks, but we are now reading everything on our mobile phones. If you write a paragraph of 10 lines, you'll be scrolling down on your phone before you even think about getting to the next paragraph. So we are now conditioned to read in chunks. 80% of people are now reading content on their mobile phones. That's a statistic globally around the world. So we need to write in a way that people are looking to read. So in the body, no more than 3 or 4 kind of paragraphs Drop in some nice little images as well inside of that. When you get to the end, you want to make a conclusion. You want to sum up what that one topic was all about for that article. Quick sum up. And then for me, it's all about a call to action. You must always put a call to action at the bottom of your articles. And that call to action can be anything from, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this, or to find out more information, click here, or to download our coupon that you can only 3 days to actually, to use this link here. So this is a formula that I use to be able to write my articles in regards to what's going on, because content really is king. If you don't write content on your website on a regular basis, Google's robots will no longer come and look at your website. So Google wants you to write content so its robots can take a look at what you're writing and reflect that what the brand says, what the brand's doing, and what your prospects are looking for, and put you together and put you on the front page of Google. So, images. They do speak 1,000 words. Now, I said I'd give you a lot of tools today. Instapage, there's a small fee for it, but this tool here called Canva is completely free of charge. Who's using Canva at the moment? Everyone's waiting for their hands up. I'm using it. Do you love it? Do you love Canva? It's absolutely fantastic. It's a very simple and easy tool to use for you to be able to design and build your own images across multiple platforms. One of the great features that Canva have, which I love, is you can design an image inside of Canva. So you can take an image from your desktop, bring it into Canva, put a nice font over the top of it, change the color of the font. For the paid version, you can bring in your own colors and your own fonts, which is what I do. And then you can click on the magic resize button, and then it will resize it for Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Google+, your blog header image, whatever it might be. It automatically resizes it for you. So you don't need to spend time thinking about how can I publish this on multiple social networks. I don't have the time, or my design is too busy. This tool magically resizes it for you. So Canva's a really great tool to use. Who likes the idea of Canva? Very good, yeah. So this is what an article would look like. It's on my website at the moment. You can see here, I've got an engaging title. Did you know 89% of all customers that are buying process with a search inside of Google? So hit them right between the eyes. That's relevant to what the article's about. So this article, I've got some nice little keywords in here. The ultimate, and we spoke about this earlier, the ultimate SEO checklist for any small business. So we've got a nice anchor there around the emotional part of it being the ultimate. What is it you're going to get? Well, it's a checklist. And who is it for a small business? So as I said, if your title connects with your target customers, now this is just one blog that I write, and obviously it's focused on one particular area to one particular type of target customer. There's lots of different articles that could be written as well. So Canva, I designed the image on top, and I'll take you through. You can see here, 3, 2, 3, you can pretty much see there in regards to the template that I gave you. So this is where we start when we talk about the customer acquisition journey. Write a piece of content on our website. The next thing that we want to do is share this piece of content. So we spent all the time to write this article on our website, and now we're going to take it and amplify it across all the different social networks. So now you might want to get your pens ready. I'm going to give you 2 tools. The first tool is at 5 o'clock today, this presentation is going out on my Twitter account for you guys to click on in case you didn't catch it earlier. I was able to schedule that out to go out this morning when I was up about 6 o'clock to do that today. And I was able to do that by using a tool called Hootsuite. Anybody using Hootsuite here? Okay, we've got some Hootsuite fans. I love Hootsuite. It's free to use if you're using 3 social networks. It enables you to schedule your content to go out at a specific time of day. It's got analytics built into it. What it also enables you to do is to do some of this, which is what you guys are doing. It enables you to listen. You can listen in on hashtags of your industry at that moment. If there's an event going on that you can't be present at, you can just listen into that event's Twitter account, and every single conversation that happens can appear in a stream inside of Hootsuite. So not only does it allow you to save time doing your social media because it amplifies the message at a specific time of day, but it also enables you to listen into what's happening within your industry. The second tool that I use is my secret weapon. This tool is called, if it decides to move, it didn't move too quick. This tool is called Opener. So there's a lovely young lady based down in London who built this product, and this product enables me to generate hundreds and hundreds of leads every single month. And this tool costs nothing on the basic level. So write the tool down, it's called Opener. And what it does is very difficult because you can't see it at the moment, but it enables me to take the blog that I wrote on my website and shorten the URL using an Opener link. So does everybody here know about Bitly, where you can shorten your URLs? There's very different tools that allow you to shorten the URL. Does everybody know that, yeah? So Opener, what it does is it shortens the link for you. So if you're going to go and share an article and it's got a very long URL, your customers get turned off by that. So when you shorten something, it's short and sweet, they can click on it and open it up. Well, Opener does something a little bit unique, because not only can you shorten the URLs that are on your website, but you can also shorten URLs on other people's website. So who here is kind of from an industry where there's a lot of content that's written? So what industry are you in? Property investment, okay. So there are a lot of gurus out there that talk about property and they write a lot of content. Some of that content might be BS, other people might be very authentic and write some great content. So somebody writes a piece of great content and it's not a competition to you, but it's an added value piece of content. Would that be something that you might share with your audience? Yeah, okay, great. So just think about that for a moment and imagine that you're on their website and what you wanted to do was share that piece of content. Now, if we were to use this tool here to do that for us, it can also turn out, so who here has met me before but never kind of heard about me, seen me online but never met me before? Anybody? Okay, all right. Come, do you know what? Come and give me a little hug. That's what I like. Come on, give me a little hug. There we go. That's it. Go on. Yeah. We look.
26th of January.
Okay. Very good indeed. So when you share content out online and people get to know you, when you meet them for the first time, this is what can happen. It can take that boring old handshake and turn it into a hug. But when we use Opener as a link, something special happens. Can everybody see this little pop-up that's appeared over the top of my blog? Can everybody see that red little pop-up? Yeah. So I'd like you to imagine that that guy wrote really good content. That's his website, but this here is your business, your pop-up, which is talking about your event that's happening next week. Does that make sense? So what I'm doing here is, on my website, I'm driving traffic that I've scheduled my article to go out at a certain time of day. I'm using Opener to shorten the link. And when people land on my website, they get the article, but then whatever marketing I've got going on at that time, I have this little pop-up that appears that talks about my brand, talks about the piece of marketing that I've got going on at the moment, and then we've got Bob. People can click sign up now.
So that's the whole article.
Yeah, so that's the whole article, which is what you saw earlier. So this would be your, this would be that guy who's written a good piece of content on property. Yeah.
Okay.
You've gone on his website, and Opener allows you to shorten the URL of his page. You then send that out to your audience. Your audience clicks on it, and when it opens up, that's his website, but your marketing.
Got it.
You are remarketing back to your customers by sharing them added value content from your industry. Does that make sense to everybody? It's a very powerful tool that enables me to generate hundreds of leads every single month. I get on average around about a 3% conversion rate. So the amount of content that I share out online, I not only share my content, but I work on the 80-20 rule. 20% of the time I talk about content that I produced, and 80% of the time I talk about everybody else's content. So when I talk about everybody else's content, they've got a great headline, well-known industry, fantastic article, podcast, video, whatever it might be. I can then put my own marketing over the top of that link. Now, that will only appear if they click on your link. It's not on his website all of the time. They have to click on your link to get that pop-up. Does that make sense to everybody? Great. So we've written a piece of content, we've gone and shared it out, but we've got a nice little pop-up box that appears here. Also, what you can have at the bottom, so if you didn't always want to share and have a little pop-up appear, which is what I call another lead magnet, you can do this. You can do what's called a content upgrade. So who was it talking about a checklist earlier? He was a checklist. So you could write an article talking about a high-level overview of what you're going to get in the checklist as a blog, and at the bottom of that blog, the content upgrade would be to get the checklist. Does that make sense to everybody? So there's two different ways here that I'm doing this, using Opener as a way to have a pop-up and drive them to come and download something or sign up to something, or offer them the chance to download something at the bottom of an article. So it's called a content upgrade. You give them the high-level overview information, then you get them to download the information, capturing their what? Name and email address. Very good. So this is what I would send them through to. This is a page that sits on my website. This is me running a webinar, all talking about digital marketing. And again, you can see Bob here. I've got my little Bob popped up over here in regards to sign up. So article, shorten it by Opener, send them to the article, get them to click on the Opener link, then they come through to this webinar. When they've come onto the webinar, and I ran a webinar last week, on average, I get anything between 300 to 500 people on my webinars when I run them. So the particular article that I ran last week was all about image marketing. This particular digital marketing one had about 504 people on it. And the majority of all of this actually comes through organic reach. But I will be showing you how I use paid reach as well. So they come through to this and they come and watch the webinar. So now I've got them as a potential prospect. I've got that name and email address, which is a lot of value to me. Now I've got that name and email address, it enables me to actually start nurturing that database. Now, if you're looking to run webinars or enabling you to get connected to your prospects, a tool that you can use to be able to do that is called Zoom. Anybody here using Zoom at the moment? Okay, great. I use GoToWebinar as well. It's quite a stable platform. Zoom's a new kid on the block that you can use. Entry level, again, completely free of charge. So a lot of these tools that I'm sharing with you, it's just about having the strategy of how to use them, but they don't actually have to cost you any money. So Zoom's a tool that you can use. You can see here, I'm talking about articles, and then you've got a little video of me while I'm talking about it. It enables your prospects to actually get closer connected to who you are and what it is that you do. And really just humanizing and being, I think there was a word down there, being authentic around your brand. So then I do email marketing. I've got the name and email address. I've given them the value of the article, the webinar. Now I actually talk to them about the product. So I do that through email marketing. The tool that I use to be able to do your email marketing is called MailChimp. Who's using MailChimp here? Any MailChimp fans? Anyone using Infusionsoft? Got Infusionsoft fans? Anyone using ActiveCampaign? Okay, a couple of people use ActiveCampaign. These are all great tools that enable you to be able to nurture your database. Some of them are quite complex. MailChimp's very simple. Has some very simple features built into it, but it does start again at a free level. You have 2,000 contacts in there, completely free of charge, to be able to keep nurturing that database. So through email marketing, I've now connected with those potential customers. I then step into a remarketing campaign. So I built the trust, I've read the articles, watched the webinar, I've sent them through emails. I want to keep reconnecting with those people. So something I do from that point is bring them through an automation campaign. So whilst I might have sent them through a particular visual, now this visual was actually built inside of Canva. Very simple, it's a nice little template inside of that, just put my own branding and colors into it. I can now automate communication to go through to them. I am going to visualize that for you in a minute. It's called drip feeding information. But what I also do from a remarketing perspective is then send an advert to people. That advert I send not only across Google, but also to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest as well. To that specific audience. Not anybody, only to those people that signed up to that webinar. So I then run this particular advert to them, going across all of these different social networks. Because what these places enable you to do is take some information, put that information into those platforms, and then communicate directly to those people. So this is how I use remarketing. I think we touched on remarketing down here as well. But I do the remarketing in exactly that way. The trust factor's been built already, and I'm reconnecting with them again to talk about what it is that I do and how I can help them. So that was my customer acquisition journey. Phase 1 of that was about attracting interest. Phase 2 was all about capturing leads. Now, I mentioned to you before that the tool that I used for this was Instapage, enabling me to capture a name and email address. Statistics show that if you only ask people for an email address, you will get a much higher conversion rate. Now, in my business model, I like to be personal. So that's the reason why I ask for a name and email address. What you must never do is this. Because you spend all of that time, whether it's been paid or organic, to drive that traffic over to that page, then you go and ask them for all of this information. Name, email address, company, how many employees, who are you in the business? Do that as a stage 2. Marketing automation allows you to capture an email address, and then the second email that goes out to them then asks for further details. The higher goal here is always about capturing that email address. Then ask for the deeper information once you've got that email address, because then you can keep nurturing that person through your marketing. Nurturing those leads. So important. So, remember we spoke about this earlier? 3 different ways of connecting with your prospects in regards to the way that they're thinking, not the way that we want to go and talk about our business, but the way that those prospects are thinking. So we want to nurture those potential prospects in the way that they're thinking. And to do that, we want to drip feed content to them. So we've spoken about a couple of tools here today. MailChimp does this for you at quite a, let's say, basic level, but it will do the job for you. ActiveCampaign is the tool that I'm using now, which is a bit of a step down from Infusionsoft. So if you're looking to actually really start nurturing your database, Infusionsoft is quite a beast and expensive and a lot to get your head around. ActiveCampaign is the next level down, really nice dashboard and very simple to use. So as you can see here, we've got a boy named Suze come in, he's downloaded one of your coupons, a welcome email goes out to him, and then he decides to not open that email. No problem at all. Then the system, the tool, automatically sends him another email. Based on that action, he'll get sent another email enabling him to continue that journey. So this is nurturing the database based on the information that they're interested in at that moment. And so if they don't open up any of this information, do you know what? That's okay, because they just go into your monthly newsletter. And when they're ready to re-engage with you, the automation process reconnects with them again. So MailChimp does do this for you, as I mentioned, but if you do want the next level up, I would probably recommend using ActiveCampaign to be able to achieve that outcome. Now, forgive me if I'm going to repeat myself here, because I know you've had some talks around Facebook and everything like that, but did we cover off Pixel and custom audience? So you covered off Pixel, so you understand from a remarketing perspective how powerful Pixel is. Yep, great. So what I'm going to do now is talk to you about custom audience. So when we spoke about the running a webinar or people interested in downloading a coupon or checklist, whatever it might be, those people, you've now got their name and email address. So who here uses a CRM? Who's got CRM for their business? Okay, it's quite a few of you. So I'm just going to take you through, just visually here, what you can do. Your CRM allows you to download all of the contacts inside of that in an Excel file. So in an Excel file, CSV file. Download that information, and all you want is their name and email addresses. Put that into the Excel file, go over to your Facebook page, and you can load those contacts into Facebook. What Facebook then says, out of the 17,000 people that I've got, 12,000 of those people are inside of Facebook. So now I can communicate directly to the people that already know, like, and trust me inside of Facebook whenever they decide to log in. So I can run an advert to those guys at a very low cost. Now I'm going to put that into perspective for you. If I was to run a Google campaign, sending somebody over to my social media online training product, that cost for that click would be around about £7. When I use Facebook custom audience and do a static advert, so just an image, that cost for me is 18 pence. I've been testing video lately. That cost for me was 1 pence. 1p to re-engage with my prospects inside of Facebook to get them to come and re-engage back with me again. So to be able to use custom audience to remarket back to your customers, it's a much cheaper way than trying to run a paid campaign to try and generate new visitors and new prospects by using Google. How many people like the idea of that? Let me know. Very good, excellent. So quick question for you. I've mentioned that I've got a digital academy, so I do a lot of my stuff online. Who would like a copy of one of my DVDs? One of my DVDs? No problem at all. So this is a great movie. It's called Serendipity. So this is one of my DVDs for you. No problem at all. Chatbots. Who's heard about chatbots? Are you using any yet?
I just started looking last week. I found out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. They're fab. I use them in 2 places now. You can see the chatbot moving here. It enables you in your business to talk to your prospects and customers without actually being there. You put in pre-designed questions based on what you know your prospects and customers are asking for, and it will give them the answer to that question. I'm using chatbots at the moment in 2 places. One, directly on my website. So I have live chat on my website, and the tool that I use is called Zopim. Z-O-P-I-M. Again, it's a free tool to use. You can upgrade. Of course, all of these SaaS platforms have a paid version. So you want more features, you've got to pay for them. And this enables me to, when somebody jumps on my website, they come and ask me a question, kind of based on what they're looking for. Zopim's quite basic from that perspective. It hasn't quite caught up with the chatbot enthusiasm at the moment, but it still enables me to kind of put somebody into a holding place until then my virtual assistant enables that to be able to come along and have a conversation with them. But chatbots, so the tool that I'm using at the moment, it's called ManyChat. Well, have you looked at ManyChat?
There's 4. I looked at them all, but I can't remember the names.
Okay.
It's that fresh.
Yeah.
One you can just drag and drop the different channel flow chart.
Yeah.
To go down.
Yeah.
It's really easy.
Yeah, but very easy. So these are great tools out there. This tool is called ManyChat. You can put it into your Facebook account. It enables you to get people to, again, generate leads, give them checklists, answer questions, and it all happens automatically around what's going on. So from a remarketing perspective, if somebody finds you, they can land on your website. Then when they come off of your website, the image marketing campaign that you've got going on in Facebook sends them over to your Facebook page where you can have a conversation with them using a chatbot. So this technology is here to help us reduce the sales cycle, but but it does need you to sometimes maybe have a little bit of a mindset shift around using it, and it does take a little bit of time. There is some overwhelm with this. As I say, I've been doing this for 9 years. So what I wanted to do today for you guys was actually give you the tools that I'm actually using and share with you how I'm using them. Because each one of these, again, don't have to be very expensive. They do need a little bit of time. But if you're interested in generating leads and growing your business, then this is how technology would enable you to do that. So now we want to convert and delight them. We want to keep them really happy as far as what's going on. The global conversion rate for taking somebody that visits your website and turning them into a prospect, in other words, generating a lead or converting them into a customer, is 1%. So when you look at your Google Analytics and you think about the amount of traffic that's coming over to your website, think about that 1% rule. If you're not even hitting that 1%, then the content that's written on your website and the way that you're communicating to your customers is incorrect. And that could potentially very simply be because we as business owners don't know how to sell online. So something else that I noticed on here as well was about finding a copywriter. One thing that I found, you have different types of copywriters that enable you to achieve different outcomes. If you're rubbishing writing content, get someone to write a blog in your tone of voice. It takes generally around 2 to 3 articles for that person to actually get your tone of voice right. If you're looking to upgrade your website as far as how you are visually communicating to your customers, both through image and content, find yourself an online copywriter that knows about how to sell to people from an online perspective. Because a copywriter will happily take intruder alarms and turn it into a 400-word article. An online copywriter will take that word intruder alarms and turn it into 3 words and make it an action-orientated goal for somebody to go, I want to find out what that means. They're 2 completely different mindsets. These copywriters are out there, and I'm happy to introduce my guys to you if you're interested. But do think about this content that you're going to write online as 2 different actions. A term that's been thrown around in the industry, especially over the last couple of years, is called conversion rate optimization, CRO. This is all about, not about how much, I think we've got another article, driving traffic to your website. Let's say you're already getting targeted traffic coming to your website, but that targeted traffic is not converting for you in your business. So we need to have a better conversion rate on your website, and we need to optimize that through content and through visuals. And the things that I've been sharing with you about content upgrades and other ways of generating leads. So I've got 3 tips for you that you could take away today and actually take over to your website and take a look at your homepage that might help a little bit for you to get better conversion rate. The first one being, listen to your customers. Always a fantastic way to understand how your new customers are thinking about your business. Now, it might not necessarily be about your business. There could be a new competitor that's coming to the marketplace and is saying, this is what we're doing and this is how we help you in your home. They might not call it a burglar alarm. They might not call it intruder alarm. They might come up with some American term, and they spend money on TV advertising and marketing and magazine marketing. And now people are thinking that way. 20% of all searches in Google are brand new every single day. New companies market themselves in different ways. Is that for me? So, as a business, not only do we have to keep an eye on who our competitors are, but also how those competitors are marketing themselves. So when you understand from your customers how they think about your business, then it'll help you understand how to actually communicate that on your website. The second one, use action-orientated words. Right back at the very beginning, the ultimate SEO checklist for small businesses. I threw that word ultimate in there. So what words can you use that helps your potential customers want to take action on your website? The third one is all about niche keywords. Google has a free tool that you guys can use to go and spy on your competitors. You can actually go and take your competitor's URL, put it into Google's free tool, and Google will give you the exact keywords that that business is using on their website. Who would like to know what that tool is? Would you like to know what that tool is? Excellent. Google's keyword tool. Sorry. Just go to Google, type in Google keyword tool, and when you log into it, now if you haven't got a paid campaign set up, it might ask you to make a fake paid campaign account, so their PPC account. You don't have to put your credit card details in, but go through the process. When you go through to it, it will give you an option to either put a keyword in, or it will say unique landing page. You type in your competitor's name, grab the URL, put them into the keyword tool, click search, and then all these lovely keywords will appear that your competitor's using at the moment. So it's great, especially when it comes to some new kids that are on the block at the moment. You can go and see it, look at what they're using, and it not only gives you the keywords, it tells you how much traffic is being driven by that keyword, and if you're interested in bidding on that link, then it gives you what the cost of that is. And the beautiful thing about this tool is, and I'll use you as another example, you might look at the word burglar, intruder alarm. Intruder alarm might cost you £1.48 and get between 100 and 500 people searching for that term on a monthly basis. If you look at the word alarm intruder, that might also have between 100 to 500 people looking for that. But the cost of that might only be 37 pence. We all think about things differently. We all go into Google and type things in differently. Google knows this and understands this and enables us as a business to go out there and use those keywords to drive traffic to our business. So I use this tool to be able to understand organically what's happening. So when I write new articles, I can put in new search terms into those articles and then look at what those costs are and how much traffic's being driven by it, and work out whether or not I should be using that search term or not using that search term. So niche keywords are a very powerful thing to use when you're looking at using your on-page sales copy. Customer retention. Who knows the answer to this question? 80%. No, it's not that high. I will be quite frightening if it was. Close. Close. 20%. National average customer retention is around about 20%. So 2 in 10 of your customers leave your business because you're not retaining them as customers. You're not putting on wonderful events like this. You're not nurturing them through your email marketing. So really think about that with the customers that you've got. How much time and cost did you put into acquiring those customers that actually through customer retention will help you retain them? So there's a couple of tools that I use to help me do this, to understand what's important to my audience. They're very simple tools. They're free tools. They're built into the social networks. It's called a poll. So inside of my private Facebook group, where I have all the people that come through my online academy, I often run polls and ask questions to that audience. And this was a very simple question. If you want to receive some information from me, how would you like to receive it? Would you like it to be a live stream, a podcast, email, article, video, whatever it might be? So one of these you can see was by far the winner. What do you think I did the next day? Did a video. So I asked my current customers a question, they gave me the answer, and the very next day I did a video. Think they were happy or unhappy? Of course they're happy. And this is a completely free tool to use. So Facebook has it and also Twitter has it. If you don't want to do this sort of thing inside of the social networks, great tools like SurveyMonkey, Typeform. Anyone use Typeform here? Okay, Typeform's a sexy version of SurveyMonkey. Allows you to send out a questionnaire to your audience in your branding, but just in a much sexier way. So you can do that through your email marketing tool to be able to achieve that. But listen to those conversations, and when you listen to those conversations and communicate back to your customers in the way that's important to them, you wow them. You make them smile. You make them very happy to be part of your community. So can everybody see here how powerful digital marketing is? Sorry? Yes. Very good. I've now come to the end of my presentation. I just want to say thank you all very much for being a fantastic audience. I hope you've made lots of notes around what's going on. That link that I mentioned, gettalk.at/F12, if you want to get the presentation and every single tool that I've spoken about today. So thank you all very much.